Oh, what happened? Just frozen everything?
Yeah, I mean, I just it's okay. We're getting back into it. I have empty
All
friends
right.
list. You want to bring me back
Yeah,
in?
I invited you back.
Okay.
Oh, let me see. Show lobby. Where's Fenrir?
Fenrir is in queue
Uh,
right now.
yeah.
Make sure that he's
For
specking
who?
blue or in the game.
Yeah, he's supposed to. Oh, you. Okay, well, got it.
Oh yeah.
Slap the spec.
Maybe
And
you have
then there we
Osprey.
go.
Whoa, keep me in, coach.
Maybe. All right. Stream up. Should I pause?
Stream is up, so we should be good.
All right.
All
So I'm
right. Wait. Well,
pausing now.
ask if they're ready.
Oh, yep. Ready? Question mark. One down, two down. All right. Seems like we're ready. Let's get in there. Interesting last fight. For those who missed it, we had a massive pop off from the Junkrat, Platty, who killed three, and then won the fight for AC Roos. It was pretty massive, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it might have been massive, but I wasn't there, so it wasn't massive. No. No,
Unfortunate.
sorry, I'm
Sorry,
gatekeeping
Platty.
massive. That's my thing. I gatekeep massive.
Sorry, Platty. Seems like you weren't that big this time. Oh, okay. Well, pausing match again.
Okay.
Wow.
This is Ari was the one who was disconnecting before as well, and this is the reason why they've added Tiny Donut to their roster, I believe.
Hmm.
Right. All right. Who has the Trojan virus? Do you seeing these
My bad,
spectators?
guys. My bad.
Do you guys have Tiny Donut? Where is he? I want to know where Tiny Donut is. I'm gonna spam some Tiny Donut in the chat. Very
Tiny
important.
Donut, you seem to be really hyped for his debut.
Yeah, because I made
Or
an emote.
their
Okay,
debut.
it's very important.
An emote. An important that, you know what? Fair enough. I'll get off your case. That's a pretty important reason to get Tiny Donut in.
Mm-hmm.
Ari, can we join? He's on call. All right. Let's see. The custom game.
What's on call, man?
Oh, I think in call.
In call. Oh, okay, so he's in a
Yeah.
phone call or something like that, or in a different Discord call. I see.
Or in their Discord, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't invite them yet.
Well,
That's
Love Giddy
weird.
should be able to invite Ari back in.
Yeah, let me
Is
just.
Ari also blue screening? We'll see. For the viewers at home, I am sorry about the inconvenience. Lots of unfortunateness today. Surely it can't get more scuffed, says Carbonatrix.
No, 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 no. Trust me, it'll get worse.
Don't worry.
Because I'm here.
That's a
I'm here.
challenge. I take
Don't
that as a
worry.
fucking challenge right there.
True. So do I. I will force us to play Hanamura. You gave me control. You best regret it.
True, I did give you control. That is technically you.
This is great. Yeah, I'm never going to be invited to cast again after today. Favorite soup? Ooh. What's your favorite soup? I'm partial to a squash, personally.
Um, I don't know.
Really, you don't have soup, or do you just not do you like it that much that you can't pick a favorite?
I would say some sort of broccoli cheese chicken soup is probably my favorite.
Ooh, that's good. That hits the spot. No, you're right.
Honestly, that's like the stuff. I'll be real. That's definitely the stuff. Hmm.
Well, while we're paused, you get to see my beautiful face. And I'm sure Asmon's. I can't see Asmon's, which makes me sad.
You could. You just had the stream open, but you don't want to
Uh,
get the volume open, and it might affect your internet quality.
no, it's fine. My internet's fine.
Okay.
Let's see.
But it's also a minute delayed.
Oh no, I can't see Asmon's face for a minute. What can I do?
Oh, you can, because I've had this caster's desk scene open for like the last minute.
Uh,
They can call him in whenever. Yeah, okay. Axel Derp says he's on call. Like they can call in Tiny whenever, and I think this is probably when you'd call him in.
Ari's back.
Okay. Ready?
Let me just ask them all. Ready? What on earth? Ready.
Well, PK
What is
Master says
going on with my
no.
keyboard? Nope. Okay. Interesting.
Uh-huh. Okay, now
Now,
yes.
yes. All right.
Okay.
PK Master is AC. Yeah. No. Let me ask.
Aimless ready. Cap says yes.
Ready? All right.
Okay.
Uh, let's unpause match. Hopefully, this match goes smooth from here on out, but knowing
Mm-hmm.
our luck, who knows?
Okay. As the teams start making their way to the middle, we do see, as often we always see, we see both teams on the Junkrat, and the first team to like actually get the point here is AC Roos. Looks like Aimless eSports kind of like lumping along here, not quite getting there as quickly. And you would think
Bamboozle
that
gets
would
a
give,
big pick.
yeah, you'd think that would give AC Roos an advantage, but yeah, here it looks like Aimless eSports actually up in the up here. They were able to take the space back almost like no problem.
Alright, if I were you, I'd be typing in junk diff in the chat. That's massive.
It is massive. They did get the res onto Junkrat here, so it's not quite as lost as it was totally looking like there. We do see PK Master swapping over to the Zarya, and that's an interesting swap. Zarya definitely not in the metagame right now, and so this is definitely just going to be a comfort pick for PK Master.
Yeah, but I do like playing Zarya against Orisa.
True.
Can't do much against
And against
Zarya.
Ooh, look at
but
Ari.
A big pick from Ari again on Platty. Wow.
We see Kirith on the high ground over there to the side. Has to like pull back away from the position for a moment, but going back into it, this is a huge angle here for the soldier. Especially with the pocket. Now, we're also going to try to see Cav might go out there and get a boop off on Kirith, and that would be a huge play. Looks like, as well, Ari is trying to find some play against the soldier. Like, it looks like Aimless Esports doing actually a really good job dealing with that angle. Wow, look at that spear, too.
I'm noticing PK Master, despite swapping onto the Zarya late, has almost beaten Saber on ult charge.
That is crazy, isn't it?
That
The
it
beam
looks
goes
like
big.
the comfort pick might be working out for him, but that grab is just very easily countered by Aimless, and oh, massive tire from Ari. Ari is just rolling this lobby right now. He is doing unbelievable work.
No, I agree with you. Ari is a problem that it doesn't look like AC Roos can do anything about here. It looks like Ari has solved Li Zhang. Now here comes Platty's tire. We'll see if he's gonna go around the side here and try to make this tire last as long as possible. They know where it is, and they actually get the tire. Fenrir
On the tire.
Fenrir gets the tire.
But Kirith with a big visor, and PK Master following up on that low Orisa.
Good shit from
Wow, what
Kirith.
a turn of a fight after getting their junk tire killed.
Yeah, the junk tire does make a lot of space. Like, even if it doesn't kill people, just the longer it lasts, the more the enemy team can't really, like, make a play, right? And that's the time you can take advantage of. And AC Roos, I think, is really good at that. They understand what the real power of tire is, and they just take advantage of it.
Yeah, and also just baiting out the lamp.
Yeah.
Bionic Berry's lamp was going to be so crucial to managing to counter the
Ooh, PK bad spot
visor.
here.
But Saber,
Yeah.
with a big, I mean, pull,
Yeah,
and
huge.
PK
I
is
mean,
just down.
they saw the both bubbles be used and Suzu to keep PK Master up, and it was
That's
just
a
enough to focus him. Yeah,
that was Ari's map. I don't know. I think, and Cab getting two massive picks at the end, but wow. I just wanted to talk about Ari's Junkrat. I think that was great play.
true. Great play from Ari on the Junkrat. And we do see Ari swapping back over to the far here. And I kind of agree with that. Junkrat, a little bit of a weirder pick on this particular map. But far here, really good. Lots of open skies, really, really tall hitbox. Sorry, I should say skybox. So it makes sense to play the far here.
I love using this building as far. This is such a great Pharah map.
It is.
I want to see a three-man boop though. Please. It looks like
Yeah, Aimless not going to go over the
Aimless is
bridge.
not gonna go. Aimless foiling my most beautiful scene. I'm so sad.
Yeah, so it looks like the open side of point is going to be taken over by AC Roos. They're going to have the wider angles, the better angles on this side, but they are just taking damage constantly from Ari in the sky, who's now got like great angles. And at this point, AC Roos is, I think they're kind of up, but not really. No, Aimless eSports
No, I think it's Aimless.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
way up at this point. I must have missed a kill on the kill feed there because I thought they were more even than they actually were.
Yeah, no, Bamboozle managed to get two key picks before falling, and that managed to make the difference for that first fight.
That's pretty huge.
Ari is so close to their barrage already.
I imagine we're going to see that barrage here pretty soon. We do see Platy swapping over to the Torbjorn pretty big. Although, in this moment, I mean, if you're AC Roos, you just got to, like, regroup here. I mean, you're just taking too many deaths. It's 5v4 against you. Mercy kind of off on the edge there. I don't think Mercy can survive. I think Mercy's just dead. Oh, my God. Mercy actually survives. They do get the saving grace there for Mercy. And now it's actually 5v5. Here's the bomb. It could be big. Doesn't find anything. Though it does find Bamboozle.
Find a pick on Bamboozle though.
Wow. Okay. PK Master coming in hot. Platy
Big
actually
kill by
finds
Platy.
Whoa, Platy. Okay. Wow.
Wow. I don't know if I can say anything. That was just great play by Platy and
Platy. I mean, it's hammer time.
PK Master, yeah. PK Master with made a lot of space with that bomb, and it just worked into their favor, and they managed to get a key pick on Bamboozle.
Can I get a fear the beard in the Twitch chat, please? Just for Platy. Fear the beard.
Fear the beard.
Fear the beard. It's very important. Fear the beard. Oh, what a boop on it. Kirith actually opening this up at the perfect time for Aimless eSports to just start rushing into here. However, Platy on the ready throws a molten core all the way through the hallway. What are they going to do about it? Saber finds a kill onto Platy.
I am shocked that that kill happened. I'm not gonna lie. And Kirith comes back and gets a big big visor kill. 3 kills with that visor. Wow.
Visor kind of just like crazy right there. And
just clutches it up for his team.
This is like actually like a super close game we're getting here. I mean, it's 1-1 so far on Lijiang, 59-58. It is actually close. What?
Oh, no, wait, never mind. Wait. I thought Bamboozle was on Aimless. Sorry, on AC Roos. I was hoping
that was like
a
sick flank there. Yeah, a little bit too crazy. We do see Ari swapping over to the Sim here. It looks like they want to get onto point and start defending big. You don't see the Sim swap mid-map like that too often, so that's pretty interesting. Getting through this is going to be pretty tough. Bamboozle pulls up the High Noon. They're trying to protect the High Noon as much as possible. The High Noon doesn't really find much, but does get a lot of resources used. That's a lot of defense matrix, which allows them to actually kill PK Master. This is a huge play, actually. Big, actually Gigabrain play from Aimless eSports to get all that defense matrix out with the High Noon. Crazy stuff.
That Sim swap helped them a lot there. That with that turret bomb, they managed to get that pick onto the Diva.
Mm-hmm.
And that just completely toppled AC Roos.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they have sim turrets on point, and also 85% to a wall, just by the way. Like, Ari did some serious work there. And they're going to be able to defend this point a little bit better, actually, than AC Roos. Although AC Roos does have the Molten Core. Fear the Beard is incoming.
They managed to get the res off onto Kirith.
That's what they need. They need to have all their numbers for this fight.
Oh, but Mercy's down.
No, yeah, Aimless
And,
Esports kind of
this
has
is
this.
oh, the crunch, the
The
crunch.
crunch time, boys. Damn. You love to
It's
see it and you hate
3
to
on
see it.
2 right now.
Wow.
Oh, and I think
That's it.
that's Aimless Esports taking map 1.
Wow.
Oh wow,
That is
that was a
one on the
great
board
first map.
for Aimless Esports. I'll make sure to update my little scoreboard up here. There you go. You got the Aimless Esports
Ooh, a
1.
Tor play the game. You'll love to see it.
Yeah. Fear the Beard. Hashtag Fear the Beard. Oh my.
Never res in front of Platy again.
Damn. Underestimated the dwarf. Sheesh. Wow. That's one on the board for Aimless Esports. You know, I knew this was going to be close, and it came down to the final like third map, 99 to 99 into overtime for that to end. That was exactly what I expected from these two teams. Like, these two teams, I think honestly are pretty much neck and neck.
I'd agree. I think coming into this match, you were talking about how you thought this was going to be very tight. And
Yeah.
after that first map, I think we can both tell that this is going to be a pretty long one.
Good. That's what I gotta say. Good content. I want
know.
content.
I want a 5-map series, maybe a 6-map series. That would be hype. I think 6 maps.
Can we even get a sixth map? I don't know.
I think we can.
Control
Hybrid.
cannot tie, right? But hybrid can. You can get a tie on hybrid, right? But then, okay, you get the tie on hybrid, and then it's first to 3 wins, and ties don't count. So then you'd have to get a tie on that. Then you escort. You can't really tie except on like Dorado, where you have the scripted cart movement on point 2 that you can't stop from moving, and therefore you can C9 it at the same time. So Dorado you can kind of like tie, but then you're on push. Push can't tie. I mean, push, I guess, can you tie on push?
You can.
It seems really, really unlikely, but maybe.
It's very unlikely, but if both teams manage to cap checkpoint and get no further than that,
true,
it's possible.
So you could tie on that, and then you go to the 5th map control, and from there, it's very possible that after that control map, no one has 3 wins yet. They could be 1-1 at that point. That'd be crazy.
What map are you hoping to see right now?
Well, if I'm... God, let me look at the maps.
I got you. For Escort, we have Dorado.
Midtown.
Oh, sorry, Hybrid.
Yeah, we have Kings Row, Midtown, and Parisio. So we haven't seen a lot of Midtown. I think people think that Midtown's kind of mid, and that's fair, okay? But I like Midtown, and I'd like to see some Midtown. We don't see a lot of it. I think that it's actually an interesting map to watch watch people scrim and play in. And I've seen a lot of Kings Row in my time. We've seen plenty of Parisio on this particular event, I think, as well. So
yeah. I personally like Midtown. I find it's a very fun rush map, and I like playing May, so it's pretty fun.
It's a good Torb map.
Defense,
by the way.
Aimless wants defense first. All right.
What, Midtown defense first? I mean,
Midtown defense first. Interesting. Wait, we got what we wanted. Midtown, and Aimless gets defense. So let me just swap to blue team.
Does blue team defend first always?
Yes.
Okay.
Swap to
I've never seen someone asked to defend first. That's interesting. That's not like in the rules either. I don't know anything in the rules that says about who attacks and who defends.
I see.
Could be.
Do you want to keep it the same, or do you want?
No, it's fine.
All right.
I'm not gonna make a stink about it, but I think that's really interesting. So it looks like Aimless Esports wants Midtown, and they specifically requested they want to defend first, and that's interesting. What that tells me is that they've got some sort of thing on attack that that they want to do, and they don't want their attack strategy to inspire AC Roos to do the same thing. So maybe they've got some deadly, probably maybe like a sim teleporter strat, right? And
Oh,
they don't want to inspire AC Roos to do that same thing. So they're gonna hope AC Roos just has some like bland attack that doesn't really have a lot of thought put into it, and then maybe they'll full hold, and then maybe or maybe Aimless Esports has a really interesting wait, are we in Dorado?
yeah, I'm fixing the map right now.
Okay.
Just need to swap the map now, yeah. Where
Yeah.
are you?
It could be
Midtown.
that maybe, well, no, if they have an insane defense, then they would want to defend second because they don't want to inspire the enemy team to copy their strategy.
That's true.
Right. And so I think they have some crazy attack strategy, and I'd be willing to bet there's something to do with Symmetra. That's what I think.
You could be right. I think, all right, ready? I'm just gonna ask. Okay, so Aimless is ready. Let's see, Roos. Serious? All right, they're ready. Let's get into it. Midtown. Have we even seen Midtown in the tournament before?
I don't know. Maybe once.
It's interesting where a winner's semis comes down to a map that we haven't seen in I don't think the entire tournament.
I don't think I have seen a lot of Midtown. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we have seen some Midtown, but I think that we've seen. I think we've seen it like once. I think there was one feature match where they actually chose Midtown. Doesn't come up often, so we shall see. We'll figure this out. Now,
Pharmacy
yeah,
with an Orisa Bap Cass
okay.
versus a Sig Poke for an attack.
I do not see Sigma on attack here very often, and the shortcoming for Sigma that I think that we're gonna see is that he loves to like spam at an angle, but he's kind of forced to spam from underneath this bridge without really pushing out too far. And if he pushes out too far, he probably overexposes himself and isn't playing like within the same strategy of the rest of the team. So we'll see kind of how he's going to maneuver here because that's going to be everything.
Oh, they're deciding to go in the train. That's brave.
That is brave, and I disagree with it strongly, except it worked, and that's weird, right? So I guess if there was one hero that could walk through the train, it is Sigma, right? Sigma's the one that has all the resources to be able to do that. Now they've been able to walk through, and Bamboozle,
Bamboozle
has found a couple kills, or found one kill.
This match so far has been a very good back and forth between both teams' DPS.
No, I agree with that. Yep.
I think all four of them have had very strong moments they've shined. I think in general the entire lobby has had great moments where they've all shined.
I agree. And can we let's take a moment to appreciate as well the big play here from Aimless Esports as they were as they retreated from that high ground, gave themselves a lot of distance and played like a nice like poke strategy from a distance here. I want to let you know guys as well that the scores are kind of swapped there on the stream now because the teams swapped colors. The AC Roos is red now and Aimless Esports is blue.
But the team scores are still correct, right?
They're labeled with the team name, so those are still correct.
All right, that's good. Wow, Ari.
Wow. From at range, that's those like long range barrages kind of inspired by Yazana. Say he was doing that a lot when he was hitting his like all 10 top 10 his all him kind of era. He started like inspiring people to barrage from farther distance.
I really like looking at Ari's Farah. Ari is poking very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see them. They're going through the top train again, and this is so interesting. I've not seen a team go through the top train this often. And look at this. They backed out, and D.Va just kind of like rotated back around. So it looks like they don't really want to go through the top like that. They want to go through this bottom left. But look how telegraphed it is. I mean, like, they know they're going this direction, and it's even more pigeonholed. Like, oh, okay, this is a lot of ults, actually. So very, very questionable from Aimless eSports side. Definitely ulting way too early there. The rotation alone finding 2 ults out of Aimless eSports.
Bamboozle does manage to get a big pick on one of the supports, and Saber gets Platty with a massive spear.
Yeah, this is all looking very clean from Aimless eSports' side.
I think we might have I think their strat was actually the defense. They must have had this was their crazy defense strat with the Pharah.
Yeah, but there's no reason why they'd want to do it first. Right?
I
The
don't
only
know,
reason you want to do it first is because you're hiding your attack. There's something about your attack strategy that you don't want them to see before you defend.
I actually don't think. I actually like defending first a lot of the time, just because it gives your when you defend, you see a win condition for your
True.
team. Interesting barrage by Ari. I am not sure if I would have done that, but that was very brave.
Very much so. It's kind of like coming into like they're just ulting first. Aimless eSports just constant, like every single like fight seems to involve them using an ult first, and as we see, there's a lot of ults stacked up on AC Roos' side, and it's partially from people not using ults and just swapping, and just kind of using them like when they're already low resources and not able to win the fight.
I personally think that in Overwatch 2, if you want to win a fight, you should ult first. Like,
yeah,
there should never
not just
be
Overwatch 2. That's all Overwatch.
Yeah. But it's especially true in Overwatch 2. I think almost all the fights I've seen are just you ult first. And I think that there should be a lot of credit given to Aimless for just very smartly picking out the best moments for them to find an advantage and ult the enemy team out.
Yeah. That was an incredible defense from Aimless eSports. I think that on like multiple facets, that was an impressive defense. And I can see why they chose Midtown, right? Because they have actually practiced this Midtown defense. And I think that not a lot of other teams have. And so this might be a scary thing for other teams moving forward.
Well, it's time for AC Roos' full hold strat, and I cannot wait. Oh, we're seeing a Torbjorn.
Torbjorn on defense, pretty common actually. Torb defends his first point pretty well.
I have never scrimmed against a team with a Torb. But yeah, I can see why he's so good on this map. There's just so many good turret spots.
Yeah, pretty wide open on the angles. There's also a lot of good turret spots that just have cover. Like you can put turret behind cover in a lot of places. And it's super easy for Torb to like throw a turret at one angle and then be at the opposite angle himself.
Like that interesting turret. Oh, no.
He's screwing it up. There we go.
There we go.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, that covers a very wide angle.
Pretty far out there. I don't think it's going to be a problem for the Pharah. I think Pharah is just going to be able to 3-tap it, and we're going to move forward because he can't repair the turret.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the turret is taken care of. All right, now it's just a matter of like who's going to get an opening pick here. Both teams looking kind of spammy.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, it's just who's
going
to get a pick first. And honestly, all they need is one tick. So yeah.
This is worrying me for AC Roos, but I do think that they can full hold this. I believe in them. You know, if no one got AC Roos, I got AC Roos.
This fight is lasting a long time, and I think the longer this fight lasts, I think the more Aimless eSports is favored.
Yeah, and there we go. Those are 2 big picks, and I do think that that just signals the end of the match.
Oh my god. Bamboozle is kind of sick nasty. What the heck? Oh my.
A big 4K for the guy.
Yeah, that's just play of the game. I mean, he just kills 4. Wow. That's nasty. I think Bamboozled. Oh no, okay, it's gonna be all right.
It's the
Interesting.
Ari.
Clinical. And I think what we're seeing here is lack of preparation from AC Roos to play this map. We see that long range barrage.
Whose map pick was this? This was AC Roos's.
AC Roos's
Sorry, this
pick,
was
yeah.
AC Roos's. Interesting. I wonder why they went Midtown then.
That is
They
right.
must
It
have
was their
practiced
pick. That
something,
is so interesting.
but I think Aimless just practiced it more.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Okay, well, I mean, Aimless Esports now has 2 on the board, so I'm gonna go ahead and update that here. 2 on the board now for Aimless Esports. One more map win for Aimless Esports. Map pick AC Roos, yeah. One more win for Aimless Esports here, and they're moving on in the playoffs to the next part of the winners bracket, and they will be putting AC Roos down into the losers bracket. And I didn't think I was going to say that like this quickly into the playoffs. Like the playoffs is pretty new, it's pretty fresh, and we're already putting AC Roos down in the losers bracket potentially. That could be crazy. Or what we could start seeing is the beginning of a reverse sweep. What do you think?
I believe in AC Roos. I believe they have some very good. I liked a lot of what Platty's plays were. I
True.
liked every single member of their team on, especially on Lijiang. It just felt like it slipped away from them on Midtown. And also, like, to a very large extent on Lijiang, they almost won that map. It was very tight. They just couldn't manage to take it when it mattered most at the end. I really, really liked. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I want to shout an underrated part of Aimless. I want to shout Saber. Saber has been very clean on that Orisa. Like those
Yeah.
spears are great. Those are crazy. I just like I've been like talking so much about Ari because I mean I love Pharah players. Pharah is so fun, but Saber with crazy spears that can really quickly steam through a team. Like it just easily wins them the team fight. They just play so smart, so calm. And what seed are both teams, by the way?
Pretty high seeds on both teams. I don't remember the exact ones. I think the AC is 1 for seed, and I believe Aimless was like 3. I believe 3.
Mm,
Like pretty good.
yeah, this definitely feels like a very high like Elo match, in my opinion. It's been very tight. Well, it was on Lijiang. And I think AC Roos can come back from this and very quickly manage to find themselves in a position where if they win one map, if they win the next map, I think they can easily see themselves as, hey, we won a map. Like, and that instantly resets their mental. They just need to be able to believe in themselves and believe that they can, in fact, beat Aimless. And I think this game is still up in the air.
It definitely could be up in the air.
Dorado.
Dorado. Dorado is the reverse sweep map, right? The big reverse sweep that we saw earlier on in this tournament when Hardstock did their reverse sweep started on Dorado, right? And so maybe that's where they're thinking. They're thinking, all right, time to go to Dorado. This is where we're going to turn it around. This is where we're going to just become different. Just become diff. That's all.
Ari wants defense. All right. Interesting. So we see that we see a dive map, and I think maybe AC Roos fancies that Aimless can't beat their dive.
Maybe. Not quite sure. There's a couple of different strategies here. Obviously, dive is the most popular strategy.
All right.
Traveling to Dorado.
I want to
Initiating
see a Bastion.
launch.
See a Bastion? We're gonna get like
I want
a
to see a
teleporting
Bastion.
Bastion strategy because haven't seen that in a while. Haven't seen that since the first game.
No, I want to see a Ramatra with a Bastion, a Junkrat, a Bap, and a Lucia.
Okay, a little bit too creative there.
No, I think it's perfect because you can just speed boost the Bastion everywhere. You just poke out everyone with a Junkrat, and it's just a rush comp with, but you take out the Mei and you put a Bastion in,
Yeah,
and I think you just roll over the enemy team. I don't know. I just think my mind is just too big for me sometimes.
perhaps. All right, I have fixed the scores on the screen so they're on the correct side now. People like throwing me through a loop here, making me switch the sides, but it's okay. I got it fixed. We got Aimless eSports on the blue team on the left, and AC Roos is on the red team on the right. All right, and both teams are looking pretty ready here, and we see Platty on the junk. That's very interesting. I would love to see what he's going to be doing on the junk. I actually swaps
Oh,
over to the Cassidy. Okay.
Stop the payload.
We see Saber on the Ramatra here on the high ground, and this is interesting. We do see some Ramatra here occasionally. I mean, what are you going to do if you dive on the high ground, he just pulls up the muscles, right? That's a thing. We see as well, PK Master just throwing the shield away here. I mean, he can't do anything if he drops that shield. That's his playmaking ability, and just kind of threw it away, so he's going to have to wait a moment. We see okay, PK Master is going to jump up. He does have shield available, doesn't use it this time. The rotation fully happens by Aimless eSports. They're going to get all the way around the other side here. The rotation you expect to see, although very little contesting of the payload for this far. I mean, the payload's just been moving and moving and moving.
oh, and Ari, that Winston blew up.
Kind of, yeah. That does tend to happen.
And Saber getting sexy, punching down on AC Roos. And we see PK Masters swaps over to the Sigma.
I think that's
And Platy
not too
going
bad.
back to the junk.
Yeah, I mean, this does look fine. If their plan here is just to be like better spam, then maybe that's what they're going for. And I feel like that's what they've got right now. So let's see if they can pull it off. It could even be better if they went with, if they considered maybe even a Zenyatta, but we'll see if that even happens.
Interesting lamp. I don't know what they were lamping there. But might they need it in the next bit? Oh, big kill on the Mercy. Actually, that takes away the res, and Bob denies so much space. My goodness. Aimless needs to back up, and wow, Kirith just taking over the lobby right now with Platty. That Bob was so good. I just don't
True.
know how you could have beaten it.
Yeah, the Bob in just like the perfect spot. In that situation, if you're aimless, you would have had to just like full retreat or do something about the Bob. Burn it down, but you don't really seem to have the tools to burn him down. So doesn't seem like a viable strategy.
AC Roos with 4.5 minutes coming into second point here.
It's pretty good for AC Roos. They do need that. If they're gonna get this reverse sweep, then that's kind of where it starts here. Bamboozle picking up a pick onto Kirith though is kind of huge. Coming from underneath here, do they even realize he's there? Going for the res. Oh,
Bamboozle
wow.
still.
Oh, very close there. Saved just barely by Cav. Cav
Platty.
keeping him up.
My goodness, Platty got down to 1 HP as well. Two big saves from opposing supports. And Saber getting sexy again, just jumping into the front line.
This angle that Bamboozle has on the top is like pretty oppressive actually. And he gives it the angle for just a moment. And try to make sure he's keeping track of the church.
I'd like to see AC Roos try and deny that high ground from Bamboozle, because Bamboozle, we've seen it before, like throughout this entire series. When you give him an oppressive angle, he will take as much of an advantage as you can get on them. Oh, and we see Ari on the Widowmaker with a big pick.
Oh my.
The angle next to the church, and the Sigma's trying to deny the shield.
Okay, Bamboozle is just crazy. Wow. We see Cav pulling out the Glock. Wow.
Wow. Aimless is just playing with so much confidence right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And confidence in this is so key. I mean, like, they've now held here for the past 2 minutes. If they do it another 2 minutes, then this is all they have to push to just win this game of the playoffs.
I'd really want to see a big flux here.
Bamboozle
Like,
being
you're
right
holding up to 4 ults on AC Roos' side. I'd like to see, like, I'd like to see you guys take an advantage for once. This is some walls, so I mean, Aimless now can tell where they're coming from, but AC Roos has never taken like an alt advantage for the past map. And there we go, finally. But Ari still gets a big pick on the Ash,
Ari finding
and
that pick
nothing
is like
found.
really important.
Nothing found with the Flux. That is. Wow, things are looking very grim for AC Roos right now. They still do have 3 ultimates, though. And
They,
Saber just mowing through AC Roos right now.
right, we're seeing like a domino effect. It seems like, oh my God, Ari with another kill on Kirith. I wonder at this point if Kirith is getting just a little bit tilted. I don't know. I don't want to suggest that people are getting tilted, but at this point, like, man, if I got my head cleaned off 3 or 4 times by this Widowmaker at this point, I'd be not feeling great.
Really like this swap to Winston. Try and
Yes.
deny that high ground because Aimless is just doing so much on that high ground.
True. Here comes the tire. This tire's going to make a
Wow,
lot of
this
space,
tire
actually.
is getting...
Oh, but they
yeah.
can't go around that route. That's got to be careful. He's got to just hold it for as long as possible here. Yeah. No, he just put it in front of him for maybe potential just a little bit too long there.
Interesting window.
The window is mobile. The bob is also weird. They don't have to play in that zone. So it looks like AC Ruse, a little bit of fumbling, I think, coming from them a little bit here as they do lose Platy. And Aimless eSports able to jump straight off of the high ground there. Although, by doing so, they have played now in the sort of like dangerous range of AC Ruse. AC Ruse picking up a bunch of kills. Kirith kind of popping off here.
This window will get so much space. Saber's forced to back out. And he has no team with him, too.
Yeah, this is interestingly played by AC Ruse, but I think well overall. It turned out to work for him.
Aura swap on 3rd point.
Yeah, that is an interesting one, although I also think it's pretty good. People might know that this skybox in here is actually really big. One of the highest skybox in all of Overwatch. So it is actually possible to go really, really tall, and also a lot of really tiny choke points that you can spam.
I also think that it's just a comfort pick for Aimless right now because AC Roos just hasn't had an answer for it all match. Oh, Platy getting Bionic Berry right there. Both are rezzed. And ooh, the Ram ult could be big.
Could be big, although he's just holding up his block at the moment, and that's not going to keep him up enough. So they're actually going to be able to kill the annihilating Ramatra, and that's big. If you can pull that off ever, then you've definitely done some sort of outplaying. Wow.
I'm going to be honest. AC Roos looks to be finishing this map with time and is
Looking good.
playing very well.
This bob
Big
is
bob,
perfect.
deny that
Oh,
space.
that's so nasty. This is a perfect bob.
Big
Really,
tire
really good
as
kill.
well coming through. Going straight for Ari.
Platy
Wow.
taking no prisoners, absolutely lawn mowing the enemy team down to get to this last point. That was kind of crazy.
I just want to point out that Fenrir has played unbelievably well on that Mercy.
Yeah.
Just managed to stay alive, focus the right target every time, just to damage boost or heal, and I think honestly, Fenrir adjusting and that Winston pick might have been the reason that AC Roos has taken this map all the way.
Yeah, I mean, good observation. I think that the Winston pick there was an incredible swap. I mean, obviously it's Dorado, so Winston's always going to be a solid swap. But just in that scenario in general, Dorado is just so well made for Winston. Winston's like just got the perfect kit to take the space that this map provides, and I think that they did a good job with it.
And denying those high grounds that Bamboozle and Ari were, well, Bamboozle mostly, but he was getting so much value off of those high grounds.
Yeah.
And them starting to deny space, adjusting from their original playstyle of going slow and steady, and instead actively trying to shut down their threats, I think has made them go way further than we originally thought they would after we saw the unfortunate Sigma Flux.
Yeah. But they were able to get off the Sigma, and that's a sign of a team that knows how to adapt. And it's what I'd expect from AC Ruse.
Yeah. Ari's on the Pharah again. Oh, and Bamboozle gets Kirith with the slow. Oh, well, it doesn't slow anymore, does it?
No, no more slowing on the slow field. It's not a slow field anymore. It's just kind of a field.
Oh, and Platy just
Ooh.
kind of finds himself on an island with no one around to help him.
Saber finding a nice little isolation there, able to bubble him in, kind of like a Pokeball in a Pokemon.
And this Winston taking so much space right now.
Definitely, this whole space is absolutely controlled by Aimless eSports at the moment. They are doing a phenomenal job on this attack.
Oh, and Platy swapped to the Reaper to try and counter this Winston.
I think the Reaper is to counter the Pharah, as you can clearly see it as hit scan.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Obviously. Yeah, we see Reapers all day being played to counter Pharahs, so we'll see. Looks like Saber is not going to want to stay up there for too long.
Wow, Ari manages to get the kill on her counter.
Oh, Ooh, Saber doesn't have a bubble right now, so you gotta be careful there. Ari, oh no!
Ari, oh no!
Barrage into a Sigma. Gotta be careful about that barrier that can just like be deployed right in front of your face and kill you, which is exactly what happened there. Great play from PK Master to utilize the shield in that way. And in the meantime, we see Saber trying to find an opportunity to jump up here, but every single time he's getting coach gunned. And this, yeah, that barrier does not last for too long. It's really just kind of a stalling barrier.
Saber's on the BAP. And Victory might be down here. Yeah, there goes Victory. And Fenrir manages to get a res on Kirith, but I'm not sure if the Mercy heals can keep their team topped up for long enough.
Here comes the Glock. Oh my god. Oh, Kev got it. Oh my. That is huge. See a big res onto Ari as well there. So this is going to be super in favor of Aimless eSports, and we have 4 minutes 18 seconds on the clock. Cart's moving past the second little curve here under the bridge, approaching second point.
Saber is playing out of his mind right now.
Really is kind of incredible monkey play.
He's just chatting it out right here.
Here we go. This Bob is what you need for if you're AC Roos, you're pretty happy about this. Claims the space, kind of like de-stages the enemy team in a great way. Look at the pressure on the high ground here. Like Saber couldn't even hold the high ground. Now they have to completely reapproach the point from a fresh start. That was actually crazy good from AC Roos there. Really good use of their abilities. Lift could be big.
Oh, what a big Blossom. Saber manages to find a kill on the BAP. But I think Platy's just taken over the rest of Aimless's team.
Yeah,
Saber's got to get out now, yeah.
A little bit of Glock there from Fenrir as well. Looks like both the Mercies on these teams. Pretty happy to pull the Glock out of the sock.
Victory making a swap to the Kiriko. I like that a lot, actually, because that BAP was not surviving against Saber.
Yeah, the
Saber
Genji as well. Like, being able to teleport away from the diving Genji is going to be kind of key here, I think. Saber kind of bonking his head there a little bit. He's to tie his shoes. There we go. Now he's back up. So have to dismantle Kirith on this pretty strong position. And any dive you make with Monkey is just going to coach gun him as he always does.
That's a pretty decently sized dynamite there. Wow, Kirith already has another Bob.
Kirith just does so much. Look at this. Every time the coach gun is perfectly on point. Here comes the Bob. Bob in a little weird spot, though.
These hit scan players are very talented on both teams.
Yeah, I'm looking at these hit scan players, and I'm quite impressed.
I'm very jealous myself.
Yeah, I wish I could aim like that.
Well, I mean, there are certain programs that can help you out, Asmund.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's a big jump. That's a big jump there. They finally find the kill on Kirith, which has been one of the more elusive kills for Aimless eSports.
Yeah, I think this point finally manages to go in favor of Aimless. But I think if you're AC Roos, you'd be very happy to chunk off a good 4 minutes from that time bank.
That was like 3 minutes, I think. But yeah, I mean...
about 3 to 4 minutes.
It's pretty strong. Like, that's a big, clean chunk. And at this point, there's still 3 minutes on the clock. They still got to chunk off like 2.5 more to make it even. But yeah, we're at least getting some here.
This
Kareth
third
probably going to go
going to
down here. Maybe. I don't know. Actually getting a lot of support here. Forces the Primal.
Fenrir. Oh, Fenrir is getting dove on by Saber. Gaining a lot of space for his team. That card has made so much distance throughout that prime.
You're not wrong. That card's really kind of just sailing away, and no one's really stopping it on AC Roos. They got to be careful about that.
Oh, Platy's got a big Death Blossom coming up, though, I think.
You think so?
I do, yeah. Oh, Valve coming through. Yeah, there we
Good
go.
call.
There's Bamboozle.
Finds one. That's
And
kind
I
of
think
what you
they're
need to
watching
start
the
it
res there,
rolling.
too.
It's just the domino effect that they need to start getting back into this game, really. I mean, it's like 2 minutes left
Cav
on the
is
clock.
so low, and so is Ari. Managed to find that pick, but... And yeah, there goes Aimless. Decide to regroup.
That's a good regroup. That's because I mean at that point it was 5v3. Got to pull out at that point. There's no chances you're going to win that. So good discretion I think from Aimless eSports there, showing us that they know how to read the flow of the fight. Pretty good. They also swapped to D.Va to try to deal with this Pharah potentially. Oh, there's no Pharah. No, I don't know why they
No, I
swapped the
think
D.Va.
trying to deal with the Reaper, maybe? Reaper and Ashe. Try to eat those dynamites.
Eat the
Kirith has
dynamites,
been
yeah,
getting-
and also eat Death Blossom, but they already used the Blossom.
Oh, here's the Battle of the Kitsune.
Yeah,
Or the
I mean,
Kitsune.
Aimless Esports throws a Kitsune through, but they also lose their D.Va, and that is really bad. Also, Saber has no mech right now. And if he gets staggered without the mech here, that... Oh, okay, he actually gets the mech back.
Gets the mech back. And Kirith is all alone. This might
no.
manage to get a pick on.
Yeah,
Oh,
they are
gets
still winning
back
on
in time.
Bamboozle. Oh, now they lose the mech again. No, okay. Yeah, that's the, like... Oh, Ari, P.
Pausing.
Okay.
Ari.
Yeah, so one big factor that I think we need to consider here is that D.Va, when D.Va gets demeched, it's like in comparison to any other tank that just dies instead of like demechs, you lose more time on the clock when D.Va dies because you have to die again or have enough time to actually get your mech back. But the enemy team should not misplay by giving you your mech back. They should definitely kill you. Right?
Yeah, that's
right?
the risk of playing D.Va, right?
Yeah, the clock. I mean, look at it right now. 55 seconds. And D.Va just died. Like, 45 seconds, she'll be respawning. And
35 seconds, we'll get a fight. We only have one more fight here.
This is one more fight.
And they have a Kitsune. They're getting... AC Roos has a Kitsune. They're getting very close to both Death Blossom and Valkyrie. And the only two ults you can see on the side of Aimless is Cowboy going boom, 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 and Saber's mech. Saber's bomb, sorry.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I mean, I'm actually also surprised that they're not bringing in Tiny Donut, who's apparently on call and ready to come in at any time, I suppose. It's really interesting to me, like, that they are still fielding Ari with this many disconnect issues. And I think if any more disconnects...
I don't think I see Tiny Donut.
Was not... Yeah, they said that he's on call, whatever that means. I know he's not in their chat. But I'm not... I don't know. I'd love to know more, because, yeah... Okay, Ari is back in. People are asking if they're readied up, about to get back in here. And in this particular game, if Aimless Esports full pushes this up, I mean they're potentially, they could end this on Dorado. This could be over.
True. Oh, both teams are ready. Let me just make sure that's both teams. Love Getty. Yeah, both teams are ready. Let's go. I am very excited to see how this final fight. Oh, damn it.
Wait, what?
Ari left the game again.
All right, I'm asking where their alternate is. Can we? Where's Tiny Donut or you?
This has been a tournament match full of scuff.
This has been a pretty scuffed one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It seems that wherever I go, something's bound to happen.
Something's bound to be scuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. We're just kind of waiting on them to. At this point, I'm asking them where their alternate is because it's at this point it's too much disconnecting. I don't want to keep going with Ari if he's going to disconnect 3 times in a feature match.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Which is a shame because Tiny Donuts in a VC.
Oh, hello, Tiny Donut.
You
And
get
it
to
looks
see the
like
long
yeah,
debut.
Ari
I
has
know
to
you were.
move because it's a 6-person room. They jinxed
Mhm.
it. Just want to make sure. Are you sure we can sub in Tiny? Yes. He is on your roster.
I believe there's been a lot of very worried teams about rule booking, especially because they don't want to be kicked for any reason like this. So I am I would agree with Getty. You should always check, make sure everything's all good.
Yeah, I think he's referring. I think there's a thing where if someone disconnects, that you have to like. I think there might be something about having to play out the whole round without that teammate.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm not too sure on it.
I
And
believe
in this
that
moment,
is.
it feels really bad. It like especially like in a playout. I don't know. Like
Yeah, I don't think that should be a rule personally.
no, I
I
don't
think
like even though it's there. Like I see why he's saying it. And the rule
mhm,
book's saying like you can't you can't like field someone mid match. But I mean, this is not like the spirit behind that. I think in the moment when that was being written was like don't lose a fight and be like, okay, where's my better hit scan player, let's just bring him in. And it's like that's not what's happening here. Ari is
mhm,
disconnecting. Ari is
yeah.
disconnecting a lot, right? And this is
Mhm,
a like a network issue, so they're not trying to switch so they can bring a specific like strategic better player for the situation in. That's not what's happening
yes.
here. This is
Mhm.
it looks pretty above board to me, so I'm not like trying to make them just auto lose a map because they're having this disconnecting issue. All right.
It's on pause. Let's
Yeah,
see.
and that was the Genji slot too, by the way. So
Hmm.
interesting
Wonder what
stuff.
Tiny Reaper.
Tiny just immediately on the Reaper. Interesting. Okay, so this is by the way Tiny Donut's debut game into playing for Aimless eSports. Now you might remember Tiny Donut I think was on Heartstuck, I want to say. And once the playoffs went underway, Aimless eSports picked him up. So we are still
It's
seeing
an
some
automatic
Tiny Donut.
16 situation.
Yeah, so interesting stuff here. We'll see how it kind of comes into it. I mean, he hasn't warmed up yet, as far as I know. Maybe he has.
Bionic is down.
Oh,
Cav, though, gets Platty. And he was so close to that Death Blossom, too. I really want to see a big Kiriko ult here, though. This... Yeah, there we go.
this rush is huge, and Kirith on this like insurmountable high ground. The dynamite comes in, is burning him
Oh,
down.
that's a massive, massive ult.
It's big. It did get speared,
It
but
does
it's
get
still fine. It's
speared.
overtime. This is it. I mean, AC Roos manages to win this round, and this is the lifeline they needed. This is potentially the moment where we see a turnaround, and we might start seeing a reverse sweep. So this is pretty insane.
Mhm. I did tell you that I believe in AC Roos.
You believe in AC Roos?
Here is Saber getting sexy with it.
Oh, the cleave. Punching multiple people at once feels so good.
It does. I love playing Ram. Ram is like one of the best heroes they've added. Not because he's very balanced at the moment, I
Hmm.
will say, but because he's pretty fun to play. Uh, this is Aimless's map.
Yeah, yeah, that's
For the
true.
first time all match, we get to see
True.
Aimless. We get to see how they tick. We are on push. Colosseo.
Updating the
Let's see.
scoreboard here.
Which one would you like to see, evening or morning?
Uh, morning, the brighter one. I like that one a lot.
Brighter one. I do too.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the not so bright maps. I'm not a
And I
fan.
don't think it matters which side AC Roos plays here.
Yeah, I don't think it matters this time.
Do you think we get to see a tie on Colosseo? That would be fun.
That would be impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but it's so unlikely that I'm not looking for it. I'm just not.
It
I'm
almost happened in
focusing
our
on other
Overwatch
things.
League
I'm
match.
busy.
Just gonna put an R in the chat.
Hmm. This is pretty exciting. I want to see. I want to see AC Ruse win another game. Then this will go the full distance.
Oh, someone's asked a question
Oh, what's
for
up?
you. In LFGS General,
Yeah, hold on.
Iron apparently has asked you a question.
I think. All right, they're checking some SR stuff. Just a second. Okay.
My favorite point of the broadcast
Love
where we
seeing
sit
it.
and
Like it's
debate.
happening. Like it's happening a couple times now.
Yeah.
Okay, we do see. All right. Wow. Okay.
Asman being the smart guy of the stream.
Yeah. Okay. Tiny
Math
Donut's not
guy.
playing support, but unfortunately their support was Diamond 4. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna pull out the calculator. Tell people to wait just a second, if you don't mind. Bring this over here. We're doing a little bit of math at the moment. Okay. It's gonna be. You can talk through this moment too to like fill the silence if you'd
Yeah,
like.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I want to look at the stream. I want to see chat.
You're looking at yeah.
Wonder how the match is going so far. Yeah, I feel so bad for Ari.
I do too. That sucks.
Ari was dominating on that Pharah. I I think my favorite player so far is Ari, only because Ari is almost always playing Pharah, and I respect it. Let me see. Oof. That is unfortunate. 2860. It's a bit too high.
Oh man. They have to put Ari back in. Dang.
I'm This rule is one of the more interesting ones. It's one of the more controversial ones, I'd say.
What is?
This rule, the Team SR rule.
Why is it controversial?
Oh no, I just think every team has had an experience with it that's been like interesting
Yeah,
because
I mean, and to be clear, the team average has to be below Diamond 2.
isn't it Plat
Team
3?
player has to be at or below Diamond 2. SR needs to be. Yes, Diamond 2 is the max for any individual. SR average has to be 2,800 or less. Okay, and while we're at it, might as well just check everyone's profiles here because we're doing a little bit of profile sniping. Just snooping around, just checking some stuff, making sure everyone's in the green. Okay, yeah, looks looking good.
I think the main people who don't like it are the players. They just don't like the fact that they can't climb, which I mean is a fair concern.
Well, I mean they can. It just means that they'll have to find another player, right?
Yeah.
Right. It just like it's happened to a couple teams where like extended member, for example, can't play in the tournament anymore, and that's just because he climbed to Masters. So
Diamond 1 Masters
yeah,
range,
I
yeah.
think he actually hit Masters. I could be wrong about
Oh.
that. I know he got at least Diamond 1, and so yeah, I mean you can't. I don't think you can take the rule out. You know,
hmm
it's like in order for this to remain being a fair like plat tournament, it's a plat tournament, by the way.
hmm
You know,
I understand both sides of the argument. It's very difficult, but I do understand why this rule needs to be put in place.
right? I mean, just like imagine your plat tournament where like at the beginning of the tournament everyone's on the good, and then like around the end just you got like masters teams. Like what? Like
Just because
what's
everyone's
this?
just so good now. Everyone's
Mm-hmm.
just suddenly got into their zen. They found their zen. They're deciding to hop all the way to
Okay, so they have to put Ari back in for Tiny Donut. Unfortunately, Tiny cannot play on this current roster that they have.
all right, well then I'll just swap Ari and
Yeah,
swap to
we're gonna
spec.
hope that it's gonna be fine. We can't really get around it. Unfortunately, they have too high of a SR average with Tiny Donut, and it's in it. What's unfortunate as well is Tiny Donut is not playing their main role.
hmm
Like Tiny Donut has Diamond 4 on support, but they're playing DPS. So even though while I think it would be a pretty even matchup, I think it would be fine. Um, Unfortunately, just not the way the rules work. He's
I
has to be
see.
considered Diamond 4, not Plat, whatever it is.
hmm
Yep. So unfortunate, but we're still gonna move forward.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, for the sake of Amos, I hope Ari's internet is the most stable it's been throughout the evening.
Yeah. I didn't think about this. I did not think about this issue when I was approving a ringer. So this ring or sorry, not ringer, alternate. I don't
Mhm.
think I would have agreed to this roster addition had I known that they still can't put together a roster with Tiny Donut. That doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
So I definitely have some talking to do after this. We have something to figure out.
I'm just gonna ask if both teams there are.
Yep.
See if we can hop into a map soon. AC Roos is ready. Aimless. They're ready. All right.
All right.
Going in.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Tiny Donut.
Uh,
I really am sorry about that.
Initiating
I
match.
thought that you'd be able to just kind of easily play in it, but it does look like unless something else happens with their roster, I don't think that you actually can be fielded unless they actually put Ari on like some other. They replace someone else on their team with Ari, and you'd have to play with Ari.
hmm
Yeah, it's okay. You can still spam the emote. Also, now that you're in the chat and you have the moderator sword thing, you can do predictions. You can do the prediction thing. You want to do predictions?
My predictions are AC Roos takes this map. We go to a map 5.
Oh, absolutely. It can't not
Yeah.
happen. It has to happen.
I do want to give a cheer for Aimless for being good sports about everything that happened, though.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely some rules being tested here for sure.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to be a little bit more lenient on rules when it's like a feature match and people are kind of like they're waiting, but it's also like we're waiting in a feature match. Anyway, we'll talk
Ooh,
about that later.
interesting. So we're going with something similar to the Overwatch League finals rush with the Reaper Winston Sojourn.
Little bit, but the obviously no Lucio. We're on the
No
Mercy here.
Lucio and no Kiriko.
The May pick is
And then
interesting.
Yeah, I think they're going for just a classic rush, but with a bit of a more modern lineup, if you will.
For sure here. May coming in on a nice angle there, trying to find the wall. The wall doesn't really find much there, so this is the opportunity for AC Roos to potentially go in big, but it perhaps went in a little bit too big, a little bit over zealous there as PK Master goes down. That's a big loss here for Aimless eSports.
It was an interesting jump,
sorry,
I'll
AC
say
Roos.
that. Yeah, it was a very interesting jump. He jumped, there was no real area for his supports to be able to help him out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just easy for his pick, and Aimless started rolling the ball from there.
It does seem that way, and here, like a big signal that Aimless just made there is that they just put out the wall too early. At this point, once you see the wall, that's kind of your cue that you can just sort of like walk in. Although they're not going to. We see Kirith on the high ground there, activating the overclock with the Mercy pocket, is able to do a bunch of damage.
Wow,
You get a lot of
that's
work done.
Massive 3K.
Oh.
4K? Okay, my bad. Keep going, Kirith. Come on, let's see what you got. Wow,
Wow.
Platy, I can't believe you're so selfish.
I know, right? Just stole the 5K there from Kirith. A-Series has to be happy about that. The cart's now moving in the opposite direction, starting to make its way in their favor, but they have to still get it past 36 meters to start taking the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this window is amazing, actually.
Yeah,
It's going to force a different
Kirith
rotation.
being pocketed? It seems like they're putting all their resources into Kirith right now just to try and take over this game, and a good Sojourn can do that perfectly. Interesting pick, though. That does take out Kirith from the fight. Fenrir somehow manages to get that res off.
Yeah, that's
A lot of ults coming out from AC Roos, but what a perfect Suzu from Bionic Berry.
Yeah. Aimless Esports starting to like come back into this one. They're going to turn this bot around and with the lead still intact, right? So that's pretty big. 36 meters to 30 in favor of Aimless Esports, and they've got the cart, so that's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Kareth a little bit too early there on the peak there. Almost died. Didn't actually die, so we're fine if you're Aimless Esports. The wall coming in a little early there again, kind of opening up another opportunity for AC Roos to make a big play.
Oh, Saber goes down very quick. And Kirith, another Sojourn ult.
The car's starting to turn around again. It does look like AC Roos is taking over, so it looks like AC Roos pretty good at defending this little point over here. Of course,
Yeah,
defending
this high
that geometry
ground
is always easier than attacking it.
That high ground is just so oppressive.
It really is. And it seems like Aimless Esports struggles to find the tools necessary to take it. I think it's more of like their lack of tools more than anything else. We do see Ari swapping over to the Sojourn off the main. I think the May was potentially the weak link there. Not really able to do much against those high grounds. Bamboozle with the High Noon.
Oh no.
Wow,
Platy
fights
goes
straight
down.
out of the Wraith. That was the perfect frame perfect there. That was crazy.
PK Master is so low, I think, yeah, he's gone. And big ultimate from Saber. Trying to find the BAP as well. He does. Cav gets the pistol kill.
Ooh, Fenrir almost going down there. Very close. Is Fenrir going to get out of this, actually? Fenrir actually might die. Oh, just
This
barely
might be a
escapes.
wow. That could have been a very dangerous stagger, but Fenrir living is so good for AC Roos.
What's Fenrir doing now? There we go. Finally connected back to where they need to be. Okay, they're going to do something about this high ground. Kirith on the high ground's a mountain they haven't been able to summit quite yet. Aimless eSports has to figure something out, although Kirith does jump off of the high ground there, as their momentum is highly in their favor. They're starting to push down main, although, is this the play?
Oh, Ari gets a big kill on the ulting Reaper. And a Kitsune coming out on the side of Aimless. Ults coming out from both teams, and Kirith manages to get Bamboozle. Bamboozle hasn't really had an impact this map as much as he has in previous maps. I think AC Roos is dedicating more resources to shutting him down.
Could be. It's just definitely, this is definitely a long, like, campy fight, and it looks like this Annihilation could just be the end of it, because I don't see how, especially in the late fight.
And yeah, Saber just taking over that fight with that late Annihilation.
Yeah, the later the fight goes, the better the Annihilation generally looks,
Oh,
assuming you're still even.
Might have actually just helped Aimless get the checkpoint. PK Master swapping off the Orisa. More than half the map is finished, and oh, Saber is down again.
Can they actually hold before they get the close spawns? The close spawn's almost there. They're going to give it to them. That's not what you want to see if you're AC Roos. You can't really give that to them, and you have to win this game to keep the reverse sweep alive.
Saber is swapped to the Orisa.
That's interesting. So they kind of swapped between each other, right? So one was playing Orisa, one was playing Rom, and now they kind of just switched sides on that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting stuff. See how that goes for them. Now they're going to meet them pretty quick here because of those close spawns. Kirith coming out with the overclock here. This could be big. Finds Bamboozle in the back line. Makes actually a really, really nice swing there on the enemy team there. Kirith doing wonderful things.
Get rezzed in the middle of that chaos, and getting so much closer to his overclock. Cav's getting low. They manage to find the pick on the Mercy. That's a big pick. New Mercy with her survivability is crazy.
That's true. Wow. Okay, we are seeing for the first time AC Roos getting past that fight that they couldn't yet win. But now they've won it, and now they're pushing the cart. It's coming under the bridge. They're pushing really far forward here so that the bot has plenty of breathing room to make sure they get this cap. They actually get some insane staggers, too. AC Roos doing wonderful things. And now it is tied, but AC Roos is actually taking the lead for the first time in this push map.
Bamboozle is coming out with... There's 3 ults on both sides. Oh,
You're sorry.
that's...
But PK Master with the Annihilation, can they stay alive through the Annihilation? This could be huge. They do outplay the Annihilation. And here Aimless eSports.
AC Roos still managing to push the cart through all of that, though.
True, but they did lose the fight. However, they also have a spawn event. Wait a minute. Look at the cart stall. I mean, like, Kirith isn't even dead. Fenrir staying alive for so long. There's
Weird ults.
Wow.
Okay, I don't know if I would have done that.
Okay. I think that was an ego overclock. Obviously, they were gonna die. That's pretty weird, but you know, it's fine.
Kirith trying to take out the entire team 1v5. Just like me. He just like me for real.
He just locked me for real. Plotty on the flank here. This could be a profitable flank for the Reaper. Here, a lot of space being taken up here by AC Roos. I mean, they're definitely taking advantage of the fact that they can fight in this small area here. And I think that their fight in this small area could be a little bit stronger than Aimless eSports. Smaller space definitely going in the favor here of AC Roos. They take the cart back, and they're still ahead, 92 to 66. I mean, at this point, Aimless eSports has to actually take this bot and win like a couple of fights in a row. This bot gets past this second point again, point B, and they're going to have spawn advantage again.
The good thing for Aimless, though, is that they did manage to get forward spawn. So they don't have to wait that extra 6 or 7 seconds that is.
What?
Went for the butt scratch, sorry.
Aimless eSports does not have any forward spawns right now. They're the ones, they're the blue team.
No, I mean like when they push back. When
Oh,
they go
I
wrap around.
suppose.
Yeah.
This could be it, though. 3 seconds left on the
It
clock.
is.
The annihilation is
Oh,
absolutely
I don't think they
huge.
get any touches though, and that's it.
Wow. The reverse sweep is potentially alive here as we are going into a map 5. I actually didn't think that was going to happen. I thought the momentum was going to stay in Aimless's favor. But it does look like tides can turn, adaptations can be made.
Yeah, I told you I believed.
Wow. Ramacha's kind of nasty. Kind of got that thick nasty, you know what I mean? Kind of
Oh, man.
crazy.
That was a crazy round.
It definitely went back and forth quite a lot.
Yeah.
Win that 1v5. Okay, there, Madville. Madville. Yeah. Wow. Okay, and so this is going to be Aimless's map pick, and they're going to pick a control map. They have to pick either Busan or Oasis. It's pretty much Oasis, right? Because Husan? That was said before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Husan? Humega?
I want to see Busan, not because I want to see the map. I just think it'll be interesting. Just the poke style both teams play, and like they both teams play a very good poke and a very good rush, and Busan favors both of those very well. Oasis, I feel like, is more divey, right?
Depends on the map. No. University is the one that's really closed space. I think Brawl is pretty good there.
I think
Brawl,
I'm mostly talking about Gardens and City Center.
the
City Center.
Gardens, yeah, I think it's hard. It's hard to play Brawl in Gardens because you get caught mid rotation too much.
Mhm.
And then the other one, Oasis University and
City Center.
That's right, City Center. City Center is really good with dive. I think that's a solid dive map. Pretty
Mhm.
solid. A lot of
Yeah,
diversity
but
there, actually. I mean, I think you can play any comp on that map, actually. Really well made map.
mhm. Yeah, I love Oasis. I used to hate it, and this is a funny reason. It's not because it was like, oh, it's like, oh, I hate the way I have to play that map. No, it was because of the time of day. I hated the time of day.
You're right. It was just the time of day. That's it.
Yeah, like morning Oasis, night Oasis, super nice. Oh, hey, guess where we're going? Uh,
Oasis. Hell yeah.
yeah.
All right.
How'd you know? Interesting.
That was the only option, right? Because Husan.
My bad. You're
Husan.
right. Let's go night or morning?
Morning.
Morning? All right.
Morning. Yeah.
Oasis and
What's up, extended member? Nice to see you.
both teams are.
Are you Grandmaster yet, extended member?
Wow. You seem to be having a fun time. This has been a great match of just scuff.
It's a little bit scuffed. Just a little bit, maybe.
I don't know. I think we've had a major event on every map but the fast one, Midtown.
Yeah.
Midtown. Ari might DC. Okay. You want to take our 10 minutes now, maybe? Just in case?
I don't know if that's gonna help. I mean, we
Hmm.
could. I mean, do you think a break would help?
Oh, never mind. Ready.
Okay.
All right. Both teams are ready.
Okay, we got some Roos fans in the chat here. We say
Oh,
go
big
Roos.
Roos fans.
Big Roos fans. Got Nihilus in the chat. Roo up. Whatever Roo up means.
Roo up.
I don't know what Roo up means, but
All right,
let's
both
go
teams
for
are
it.
ready. Let's go. Just wanted to make sure.
We have extended members saying reverse sweep backwards because it's reverse. Love to see it. The reverse sweep could be incoming. Very exciting. Here it is. This is for all of the marbles. I mean, okay. This is all the marbles. It's 2-2 on the match. Finally, last map is going to be Oasis. Someone has to win this map, so this will be the last map of this match. But who is it going to be? Aimless eSports or AC Roos? Which one is going to come out on top, and which one is going to fall sulking into the loser's bracket?
I wouldn't say sulking. I think both teams have put up one hell of a fight today.
True. This is
I
true.
think, oh, both teams opting for a Ramatra comp, but completely different.
Very different takes on Ramatra. One with the Lucio speed boost, and I think that one's actually going to be favored here because getting to that high ground first is going to be pivotal. And the other one opting to play Mercy instead, the sort of Mercy long fight style of gameplay.
I'm not sure who's favored here. I think AC Roos really does like that poke-centered style.
Kirith are kind of getting the jump, like despite not having a Lucio, just able to jump on top of the high ground immediately, gets the kill onto Ahri, and that is the pick you need to outplay the Lucio. But look at the boop from Lucio. Cav there, finding Kirith off the high ground. That's incredible of a pick. You cannot res the environmental kill, and so that one is locked in secure. Although, if you look at the high ground right now, it is in control of AC Roos. They have it pretty strong.
Oh, Platy goes down to a combo by Bamboozle and Ahri.
Your PK Master just trying to stay up as long as possible, holding up those fists, trying not to die. And we see now Bamboozle on top of the high ground, just trying to deny as much space as possible. Kirith going up for the duel, kind of shoves him off, gets a nice little rail there on Bamboozle, and the point still has not been capped by either team, although it looks like it's going to be capped right now by Aimless eSports. The first cap after a full fight, maybe in a fight and a half there. We see an interesting overclock, really early, extremely confident play from Kirith, just playing largely for individual
managing to
performance.
get Bionic Berry.
Kind of just a 3v3 on point here. 4v3. Okay, 4v2. It's actually now in favor of AC Roos, and they just keep this going. Saber drops the beat to hold the point longer because it's still in their favor. Saber pulls out the Annihilation. They could hold this for even longer still. Is this Annihilation going to get picks, though, is the real question. Cav finds a kill on Victory 70. Wow, Aimless doesn't even drop the point. They're still on. The beat and the Annihilation were worth it. This fight hasn't ended. Now 40% in favor of Aimless eSports.
We almost have a full house of ults from AC Roos. And we finally see the Valk be used, but...
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, I think we are seeing the power of what the Lucio strategy can do versus the Mercy. Yeah, I think the Lucio offering this speed is probably just a little bit more impact than going all in on Kirith.
Yeah, Aimless just using their brawl very well. It's such a strong comp to use together.
Wow. Yeah, Bamboozle there just using the window.
2.
Wow.
3. Wow. Aimless has 2 ults upcoming, but AC Roos had 4 ults that fight and didn't manage to find value. Didn't manage to find the time to use anything, which you need to be proactive. If you're going to be taking over this high ground, you need to engage onto them.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of it being a team effort. The whole team has to do this together. We see PK Master almost dying, but then gets hard-pocketed back up to half HP. This still goes down. Cav finds a kill. That's huge. Platy comes in. Oh my.
But I think just the amount of teamwork from Aimless right there took over from
Yeah.
AC Roos's just individual plays.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that AC definitely playing for a lot of individual performance right now, whereas the teamwork and the synergy coming from Aimless eSports, just coming alive. They, if you work together really well, you're just worth more than the parts alone, right?
Hmm. I think I'm very impressed by the synergy between Cav and Saber.
Yeah.
They managed to find so many picks just working together, like very well.
Now
I Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, now we're seeing a complete shift though. We're not looking at Ramatras anymore, and Cav is swapping off the Lucio, so we're now seeing Diva Mercy comps, and yeah,
Capture the objective.
that's interesting. I like the variation on Aimless Esports side a little bit better. I don't like Reaper in this comp, and so I think that it's going to be interesting to see what Platy does on the Reaper in this team comp. But this is like a long range pokey comp with the Diva.
I think, in my opinion, I think the Platy Reaper was made in anticipation with there being Winston on the enemy team.
Could be, could very well have been playing for like anti monkey comp, and then
Because
I would totally agree with it. Yeah,
Saber's monkey has been very impressive throughout this entire stage.
that's true. That is true.
Oh, but there goes Saber down straight away.
Yeah, Roos looks like they're going to probably take first cap here, though they still have to get rid of some flyers before they cap it. Oh, and it looks like Aimless Esports does give up the cap. They find the res on the Saber. Saber finds the mech back, and now we're back into like a real game here.
Ooh, oh, victory! Manages to get caught out there. Unable to have the rocket eaten, unfortunately. That just takes out their best support. And that
Yeah,
quickly deteriorates just AC Roos's position.
that is absolutely true. And yeah, losing the Diva there is going to be definitely fight lost. If one team has a Diva mech and the other team doesn't, they have Beta Diva, then, that's just a massive advantage for the team that has the mech.
What's your opinion on the Kiriko versus Baptiste?
I think that the Kiriko is probably better. Although I'm not actually sure. It's definitely a toss-up depending on what's exactly happening. The more you're being dive pressured, then the more I like the Kiriko instead of the BAP. But if you're not getting pressured by dive too much, which in this case, you're playing against hit scans in a Diva, you're probably fine. I think the BAP is just more damage. Yeah. So I don't know. I think maybe the BAP's better. Your team doesn't utilize the Kitsune Rush like a whole lot, really. I mean, Mercy's not going to do anything with the Rush. Far's going to fly. So the window could just be maybe better.
Especially now with an entire, hit scan base on your
Yeah.
DPS, yeah.
I can see that.
Ooh, interesting. Trying to get AC Roos off the high
Oh,
ground.
this could be big.
Or Aimless off the high ground.
That
Oh
is
my goodness,
huge.
Saber.
Saber playing
We're
out of
already
his
at
mind.
80%.
Yeah, it's 83% in favor for Aimless Esports. They just have to hold this for a little bit longer. It looks like they've already won this fight. And so now, if you're PK Master, do you stick around here? Do you hold on for as long as you can? Or do you try to get the regroup? He's going to go for the regroup here. 93 seconds. They got to touch in 7 seconds. Something's got to give. There goes the mech. There goes the barrage. Platy's going to try to touch.
I think it's over. Platy manages to get a magical touch at the last second, but I don't think it's possible.
Wow.
Wow. What a game. I knew Aimless would have had it in the end.
Wow.
But that was down to the wire.
That was, and also, I will have to give him credit. This is Aimless Esports playing super, super well tonight. Like, despite their hardships, despite of Ari having multiple disconnecting issues, they were still able to find a lot of good mindset, good synergy, and they managed to pull it together against AC Roos. Not an easy team to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe this is AC Roos's first loss in the entire tournament.
Yeah, I think it is. And now they're going down into the losers bracket. And I know that they have faced a little bit of hardships themselves on making sure that they stay at that 2,800 threshold. And so they've had to make some adjustments to their roster. But I mean, maybe that's the key is that they had now their synergy is lacking just slightly because of that.
Mhm.
And yeah, that might be what we're seeing. Not quite sure. Wow. Okay. So let's see if we can get any post match interviews. Any post
Yeah.
match interview
I
from?
I want to talk to anyone from either team. Those players played their hearts out today.
Yeah. No, I agree. I have been.
I
I have been. By the way, I have been kind of just asking the winning team, if they want to interview. And it's not that I don't want to interview the losing team. It's just that I don't have any questions in my head for them that don't like sound kind of mean. If that makes sense. Like I've
I
tried to
understand.
interview losing teams in the past, and it's a lot harder than interviewing winning teams. Because
I understand.
so you just lost. How do you feel about that? Are you still?
Yeah.
Is it still hurting you? Are you currently crying?
Wow.
I
So,
don't know what to say.
how do your tears taste?
How do tears taste? Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so they're giving me a 1 sec. So maybe we're gonna get someone from Aimless eSports in here. Um, and this is a great accomplishment for them. You know, this not only did they take the first map off of AC Roos, but they've kept themselves in the winners bracket, so they are still clean at this point. From like even if they lose their next match, they're not out of this tournament yet, right?
mhm.
So yeah, they should be feeling a pretty good cushion right now.
I see.
It says I'll go Bamboozle. Okay, Bamboozle wants in. All right, let's bring Bamboozle up here. Hello, Bamboozle.
Hey,
How
what's
are
up?
you?
Oh, I'm good, man. How about
Yeah.
you?
Wow. What a game actually. So tell me how you're feeling after that game.
Good. Everybody's feeling really good. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
What do you think about like what I feel like I noticed is that throughout this entire game, your guys' synergy is just like on top of it. Um,
yeah.
do you feel like you agree with that? Like your team is just playing so well as like a unit?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we've definitely had some struggles like in the past getting really cohesive, but tonight, I guess, like all the work we've put in just kind of clicked and it
Yeah.
worked out.
Wow. Yeah. Is there anything you did specifically to prepare for this match against AC Roos?
Um, yeah, I mean, we worked on a couple of comps and we played around with a few ideas and it ended up working out. So, yeah, I
Okay.
guess in the comp department, yeah.
Let me ask you this. This has been on my mind. You asked for defense first on Midtown. I've not seen a single team like ask for the side swap at all throughout the
Uh,
whole tournament. So what gives? What's with that? What's going through your minds?
well, if we like hold them, we don't have to push this far.
I I
Like
mean, I
like if
guess
we attack first, we cap third, and then we have, you know what I mean? Like if we could just defend first, then we know
Yeah.
exactly where we have to bring it to.
Yeah, you got a
okay.
win condition
Yeah.
set in stone before you attack. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Assuming you can hold it at some point, because if they get
Right.
the third cap,
Exactly.
then it sucks. Then you're like, all right, I have to push
Yeah.
all the way through. Okay. So it was just a mindset thing. You feel better about
Exactly.
defending
Yeah,
first. Okay.
for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
See, I had this whole. I mean, I don't know if you had the stream up or not, but I had this whole conspiracy theory. I'm like, okay, they want to defend first because they don't want to inspire the other team into this sim strategy that I'm sure you've got.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm sure you've got this teleporter. You don't want to show them this.
Oh, we didn't. It wasn't even like that. It was just like, hey, let's defend first. Okay. Like, yeah,
Oh,
no,
fair
it
enough.
wasn't.
Fair
It
enough.
wasn't that deep, unfortunately.
I
Yeah.
really wanted to talk to you about your hit scan plays. You seem very confident on the Cassidy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's my
Yeah.
main for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I just want like you always went for these interesting flanks. You just like took the high ground. What made like was it just coaching or is this just all natural to you? What made you play like so well, I want to say.
So in regards to hit scan, I have like $4,000 in Counter Strike.
Oh,
Oh,
So
nice.
just pure aim is like I've had that mechanically for a while, and then the first character I got really good at in Overwatch was Tracer. So some of the habits of like flanking and kind of like off angling decently hard on even a hit scan is still there. So it
Okay.
was just mechanical foundation added with that's the first character that I learned.
Hmm.
I see.
Okay. I don't have any more questions, but yeah, I mean, congratulations tonight. This is the first time AC Ruse has dropped a match. So congratulations
No,
on being
thank you, man.
their first defeater.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We
All
all
right.
appreciate it.
You have an awesome night.
You too, man.
Later. All right. Well, I think that is going to wrap today's feature match up. That was an incredible match. I want to thank all of you for being a part of it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around through the hardships of me blue screening, through Ari's disconnecting, through all kinds of issues that we've had throughout tonight. I appreciate you still sticking around. And I hope to see you in the next feature match, which will be Tuesday. Let me just make sure I got this right. This is, Tuesday is going to be the losers bracket knockout match between KFC, that's Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Plant Gang. Plant Gang, yeah. So the loser of that match is out of the tournament. That is super hype. On Tuesday, don't miss that one. Oh, and that one is at 9 p.m. EST, not 8 EST. That's at 9 EST. So I will see y'all there. And also thank you, Shah, for co-casting with me tonight. I appreciate you.
It was very fun. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, guys. You have a good night.